I always buy t-shirts every time.
Yeah, I do. I buy t-shirts.
I usually buy t-shirts or programmes.
Sometimes I buy a t-shirt. I always buy something.
80% of band merchandise is sold at concerts and gigs, with t-shirts and programmes being the most popular. Although there is still a lot of research to be done into the carbon footprint of other music industry products, approximately 7 to 10 kilograms of CO2 is emitted in the manufacture and distribution of a single t-shirt. Marius Stockhai and the clothing company he works for have committed to reducing the carbon footprint of their t-shirts.
And the major achievement of that product is the fact that we have reduced the carbon footprint by 90%. So rather than the 7 kilograms of CO2 that it would have had, it is now only to 700 grams.
Marius, could you tell me about how you're managing to reduce the carbon emissions of the t-shirt product by 90%? Because that is the order of emissions reductions we need.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, you have to start by calculating your carbon footprint.
Yeah.
You need to know where you are to start with.
Yeah.
And we've calculated it from the seed of cotton, when it at the farm level, all the way through the manufacturing process.
Yeah.
And then we looked at where the hotspots were in our.
So where the most emissions?
Where the most emissions in terms of our greenhouse gas emissions. We had to look behind the electricity supply and see how that electricity is generated.
Yeah.
And the only way to reduce the footprint of that process, that particular element in the production chain, is by replacing the standard grid electricity that is generated by burning fossil fuels and replace it with clean electricity that is generated with no emissions of greenhouse gases. And this is exactly what we had to do. So we partnered up with a company in India, and as a result there is a very nice little wind farm in southern India with 29 wind turbines that are basically driving our entire production process.
But for this sort of project to work, there will be a very small diminution of an artist and a manager's margin on this. And, you know, will artists and managers go for that?
But there are hidden costs to cheap products.
Yeah.
Products that are cheap actually carry an additional cost, which you don't see in monetary value.
But those costs are becoming more and more and more explicit. And by putting a price on carbon, what they're actually doing is putting a price, or a real price, on those costs. And what I find absolutely fascinating about this is that we do have an opportunity, all of us, whether it's a t-shirt, a tour, a publishing deal, a manager, we all have to come down by this kind of scale.